So you've seen the title of this video and you're probably already coming to conclusions in the comment section and the ratings on what this video is. It'd be foolish to come to a conclusion that quickly into the video playing, because once I've explained it, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Now, it takes no rocket scientist to realize that Black Ops 4 is feeling very stale right now. We've had no new content for a long time and it feels like most modes are being neglected right now. That's all set to change on the 19th of February with the 1.13 update. Whilst this video isn't directly linked to Zombies DLC 2, this is still involving zombies in the next coming update, which is really cool. So you probably don't want me to blabber on any longer, you want me to explain, so let's jump into it. And as of yesterday, Treyarch updated Black Ops 4 and added some new teasers inside the game relating to what we can expect as future content. And for what we've gotten so far, this next upcoming season could be all zombies themed across Blackout, multiplayer, and of course zombies. And for the title, Buried in Black Ops 4, how exactly is this happening? Well, let's jump right into the details. So with this update to the game, Treyarch added some brand new teasers inside of the world of Blackout. Now, I know there's going to be a good bunch of you guys watching that play Blackout quite regularly and others that haven't touched it at all, but regardless of how much you play Blackout, stick with me because this is cool. Now, in section G7 of the Blackout map in the desert, you're going to find a toppled over sign. Now, you probably don't think this is anything interesting, and I will admit, when I first saw this, I didn't think anything of it, and I wouldn't blame you either. But if you look at this sign and just change the image slightly, you can tell that this sign is actually a red sign with a white swirling circle inside of it. This looks pretty reminiscent to the lollipops which you can find inside the candy shop in Buried. But what is even more remarkable is if you walk behind that and look to the right, you're gonna find this exact sign sitting there on a crate behind the counter in the candy store, which pretty much says that Buried is making a return some way, shape or form in Black Ops 4 in the next 2 weeks, more than likely going to be an area in Blackout. The area this sign sits in is in a desert, and as we know, Buried is pretty much set in an old western mining town which is underground, and the outside area above ground is a desert, which matches the locale of this perfectly. This is exciting because this is not the first time we've seen Buried in Blackout. We actually have the Buried maze next to Asylum. I don't really get why they'd have one section of Buried there and the other section on the other side of the map, but regardless, it looks like we're getting Buried, which is cool. And what you might not think straight away is that we have a lot of areas in the Blackout map which are all portions of Zombies maps which have yet to be remastered. We're talking about Transit here with the diner, Nuketown Island, which has zombies spawning on it, and we have rumors of Nuketown zombies coming back. We also have the lighthouse from Call of the Dead, the Buried maze next to Asylum from Buried, and now potentially another area from Buried. All we need is Die Rise, and we have literally every map that's not been remastered yet, and Treyarch have already got assets and parts of those maps remastered sat in a Blackout map. The sole fact that Treyarch have already remastered some parts of these zombies maps already for Blackout, that remasters for those maps are definitely on the cards if they've already done some of the work already. But again, just speculation, but we've already heard from Jason Blundell back during Comic-Con that if we like the idea of a Chronicles 2, it will happen, and since it was the best-selling DLC, I'm surprised if it doesn't happen. But that's not the only zombies map we could be seeing coming to Black Ops 4, as again in the same section of G7, you can see this weird bunker-like circular object, which at first looks like a metallic drain hole that you'd open to then go underground, but if you look super close, it actually looks a little bit like a clock, more so than it does a metallic bunker case. Whilst it's super hard to see, it almost looks like there are Roman numerals on this clock, which looks incredibly similar to the clock face on the Eisendrache bell tower. So we could be potentially getting a big portion of the underground section of Buried, as well as potentially a section of Eisendrache added in Black Ops 4 very soon. And if they're remastering parts of Eisendrache, how insane would it be if they remastered it in some sort of fashion? I highly doubt they'd even need to do that because Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 are so very similar, but the idea alone is a cool thought. Now, I have seen suggestions since they are adding more from the Victus storyline into Blackout that we may see the Victus characters actually return in Black Ops 4 with this update. Now, we all want to actually play as the Victus crew, and I feel like that is something which we hopefully we'll get sometime during the Zombies DLC season. And with all this Victus timeline themes from Zombies added into Blackout, it would make total sense for them to add the Victus crew into the game, which means if we can play as them in Blackout, then that means it could very well happen where we will see them as playable characters in Zombies, which would be really, really cool, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. The last and final thing to point out is around the Blackout map, there is now also these weird surveying stakes which have just popped up. Someone made a post about this on Reddit a week or so ago, and Treyarch just replied saying, interesting. So it's definitely got some relation to what's coming up. But when we see something like this, we instantly think of Dr. Monty. That stake and the red scarf is synonymous in the Ether story, and it looks a little similar. I obviously don't think it's going to be the same, as the Blackout storyline is completely different, but it could be related to zombies, which is why I'm thinking this is going to be a heavily zombie-themed season. Now, it is really cool that Treyarch are starting to tease what's coming up in terms of future content. It is really cool. I will personally say, though, as my own opinion, I don't think this is quite it in terms of getting people excited. It's certainly cool, but in terms of where we are right now in the gaming space and other games that you can play right now, Black Ops 4 really needs a lot more teasers and content to drop to get people excited about the game again. And Treyarch has on record stated that the next big update, 1.13, which is going to bring a new operation, is going to bring new content for multiplayer and for zombies. So when that happened last time, that's when DLC 1 dropped out of nowhere. So we could be seeing DLC 2 dropping out of nowhere in literally a week and a half's time, which is a very exciting prospect. And I think them adding in this stuff as little Easter eggs in Blackout for us to find is definitely very cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I'm excited to see what this amounts to, and the fact that we're getting a substantial game update very soon should be enough to at least get you excited. And if you were excited by that thought, definitely leave a like rating on this video. But I want to know in the comment section, where do you guys stand with Black Ops 4 right now? Are you still playing it every single day? Are you grinding out zombies for the dark matter camos? Are you playing Blackout a lot? Or are you just fatigued by Black Ops 4 and its lack of new content releasing regularly? And have you jumped over to other games? I know a ton of my friends, including myself, have been playing a lot of Apex Legends so far this week. It's had a lot of hype on it. I'm sure most of you watching have at least tried the game out, or if not, some of you be addicted to it. It's going to be very interesting to see if all the new things Treyarch add is going to take away that excitement people are currently experiencing with Apex, and also what they might have with Fortnite with its new Season 8 update in the next few weeks. I just hope whatever Treyarch are planning, it's a big enough content update that's going to keep us busy for a few weeks, if not a few months time, and especially if we finally get some news about DLC 2. So when we do know about that, it will be here on the channel, and you can make sure you keep yourself updated by clicking that notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, a like rating would be appreciated, and like I said, I'm really intrigued in hearing all your opinions and thoughts on these little Easter eggs and where you stand on Black Ops 4 in the comments section. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you for another one very, very soon.